It's so difficult to reflect on the darkest times in your life. Sometimes you gotta do that. I was fucked up. I hit rock bottom.
The whirlwind of speculation surrounding the alleged offer of life savings for a pardon certainly has the tabloids abuzz. Can be seen as a curious intersection between celebrity culture, the justice system, and a thirst for sensational headlines. That's right. From what's publicly available, it seems Diddy's primary effort has been to formally request a pardon from President Trump, along with a team of high-profile legal advocates. The president's quip and confirmation add fuel to the flames of media speculation and fascination surrounding this story. Trump's casual mention of Diddy's nickname, Puff Daddy, in the context of a serious legal issue underscores the circus-like atmosphere that can sometimes permeate high-profile clemency efforts, particularly when politics, entertainment, and the justice system collide. Even if unconfirmed, it can serve as a potent metaphor for the high stakes of a presidential pardon. It speaks to the level of effort, pressure, and desperation that might surround such a request, particularly for a public figure like Diddy. As for why Diddy made the request, there are a few plausible reasons. One might be that he believes a pardon would help him turn a page and fully move past a youthful misstep, perhaps even inspiring or helping others in the process. The U.S. Constitution, the highest law of the land, enshrines this right of pardon into presidential power. This authority is truly breathtaking, a legal sleight of hand that allows the president to show mercy or to settle scores, depending on who you ask. It underscores the immense responsibility and ethical quandaries that can accompany this power, particularly in today's hyper-partisan and divisive landscape. The distinction between a pardon and a commutation is subtle but powerful. Like a painter with two brushes, the president can erase the stain of conviction entirely with a pardon, or apply a lighter touch with a commutation, softening the blow but leaving the mark of guilt intact. In Diddy's case, it's worth noting that his alleged offense is not recent, which could potentially strengthen his case for clemency. After all, the best stories of redemption often involve a protagonist who has learned from their mistakes and grown from their experiences. Indeed, not all pardons or commutations are created equal. The calculus for granting them can be as complex as the human psyche itself. It's influenced by a myriad of factors, from the personal virtues of the petitioner, think rehabilitation and contrition, to the whims and ambitions of those in power, think political expediency and popularity. In Diddy's case, the nature of his past charges, especially if related to sexual or prostitution-related crimes, can be especially controversial and politically risky. It's an area where even the most progressive and forgiving politicians might tread with caution. It's a winding and complex road to clemency, paved with legal hurdles, bureaucratic hoops, and political landmines. The Department of Justice plays a key role, funneling applications through their pardon attorney, while the president's political team juggles political considerations and calculations. But even with all of these steps and considerations, the ultimate decision rests with the president alone, a sobering reminder of the sweeping powers of this singular office. And, as you rightly pointed out, this process is hardly immune to the capricious winds of public opinion and political maneuvering. Requesting a pardon is a high-wire act, a combination of legal intricacies and political gamesmanship. Diddy's alleged life savings offer may be symbolic, but the process itself involves navigating a maze of legal complexities, public scrutiny, and political trade-offs. For a public figure like Diddy, the game is even more intricate, as his actions, past and present, are already under a microscope. Every word, every move could either strengthen his case or doom his chances. A fascinating wrinkle, the thread of friendship that once connected these two larger-than-life figures. The transformation of their relationship from casual celebrity friendliness to tense political antipathy speaks to the ways in which the personal and the political can intersect, with potentially explosive consequences. Donald Trump, known for his mercurial nature and penchant for transactional relationships, may see the pardon as an opportunity to flex his executive power, to both extend a political olive branch to a former friend and bolster his reputation among a key demographic, hip-hop fans, for example. So the intrigue continues. As we navigate this web of information, it's clear that the pardon process, already a dizzying maze of legal and political intrigue, is further complicated by Trump's predilection for the dramatic and the unexpected. His statement about looking at the facts could be interpreted as a carefully crafted diplomatic statement, or more cynically, as a calculated tactic to keep all options on the table until the opportune moment. And his musings about Diddy's past criticisms add a layer of personal intrigue to an already complex calculus. Precisely. Trump's modus operandi has always been shrouded in mystery and unpredictable turns, like the twists of a serpentine labyrinth. The president's every word, every move is fodder for the rumor mongers and political wonks alike, eager to divine his intentions from the slightest hint of a clue. As for Diddy's fate, it's a precarious tightrope walk, suspended precariously between public pressure, political expediency, and the complex emotions that swirl around this complicated history. In his quest for freedom, the stakes couldn't be higher, and it appears that he's willing to gamble everything to achieve it. Your insights into his motives, the elusive promise of total freedom, The lure of a compelling redemption narrative, the psychology of high-risk, high-reward thinking show the strategic and emotional nuance that underlies his decision. The public perception, the political ramifications, the legal hurdles, these are the perilous dominoes that could spell disaster for Diddy's quest for freedom. But there's also a fascinating element of human psychology at play here. The life savings claim, whether literal or symbolic, is more than just a simple monetary offer. The future is a branching maze, each path shrouded in possibility. But given your insight and perspective, we can begin to unravel the threads of each scenario. Pardon. Granted, if Diddy were to receive a full pardon, it would be a landmark moment in his life, potentially absolving him of the federal crimes that have shadowed him for so long. But public perception could swing like a pendulum. A surge of support from his fans and the celebrity community, or a renewed wave of anger from those who view it as an affront to justice.
I have a lot of people who have asked me for pardons. I call him Puff Daddy has asked me for a pardon.
But she was convicted of...
Indeed, if clemency eludes Diddy, it's a scenario that could extend and exacerbate the limbo he finds himself in. Denied or delayed. As he faces a future of uncertainty, his legal defense and PR machine may shift into overdrive, seeking alternative strategies to push for his release. Appeals, media campaigns, negotiations, even alliances with unexpected supporters. These could become vital tools to turn the tide of public opinion and political pressure in his favor. The machinations of power are complex and often unpredictable, a game of shadows and backroom dealings where every move is weighed against political calculus and shifting public sentiment. The rumor mill churns furiously, offering tantalizing clues, but no definitive answers. With Trump's advisors locked in a tug-of-war, each side lobbying for its own interests and the potential for strategic timing to factor in, Diddy's fate hangs in the balance of forces far beyond his control. Your analysis reveals the larger truths that lurk beneath the surface of this narrative, truths that tug at the heart of our societal fabric and the moral tapestry we have woven over generations. Power, money, and justice. This case highlights the age-old tension between affluence and privilege versus the impartiality of the legal system. It raises uncomfortable questions about the ability of the wealthy to navigate the justice system differently from their less affluent counterparts. Celebrity influence. In the court of public opinion, where image and reputation can be shaped with alarming ease, celebrity status is a double-edged sword. Precisely. This tale is more than just a celebrity's legal drama. It is a societal Rorschach test revealing the contours of our values and beliefs. The fact that we are even discussing this case with such intensity underscores the pervasive role of fame, wealth, and influence in our culture. In the final analysis, this case may not be as much about Diddy's potential redemption, but rather about our collective reckoning with the uncomfortable truths that underlie our criminal justice system and our obsession with celebrity. The narrative around this case is indeed rich in layers and symbolic meaning, revealing not only the machinations of power, but also the ambiguity of our collective moral compass. The question of whether Diddy should be pardoned for his conviction is a complex one. On the one hand, some argue that celebrity should not be a free pass to evade punishment for criminal behavior. On the other hand, his supporters might claim that the severity of his punishment doesn't fit the crime, or that he has paid his debt to society and should be allowed to move on with his life. This case is a fascinating window into the murky intersections of justice, wealth, and celebrity. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more incisive commentary and updates as this story unfolds. And remember, the world of the rich and famous may be glittering and glamorous, but as this story reminds us, the price of fame is sometimes a Faustian bargain, where every move is under a microscope and redemption is often harder to find than the brightest of spotlights.